For me, it's around where we get to celebrate Indigenous cultures right across Australia. Great for the competition. We get to educate people inside the footy club, our teammates, and just a wonderful round.
It's around where we get to celebrate all Indigenous people that play in our great game of footy and are involved working in the AFL industry. And it's special for me because I, like most footy lovers, are excited by Indigenous talent. I think they play with a style and a grace that I wish I'd have in my game. So it's a lot of fun, and we get to learn a lot about our culture as Australians.
It'd be pretty special, obviously, being an Indigenous man myself from the Larrakia Nation. It'd be pretty cool. I mean, not only just wearing the jumper, but for what the round actually means for the whole system and the country as well. To play AFL would be awesome, but to play in the Sir Doug Nicholls Round would be even better.
It means a huge deal. Obviously, I was very close with Samuel Patricia-Seaton, and living with him and seeing firsthand, what it meant to him and how special it was, and also to go out there and play for the jumper and play for so many brothers. So it's really special.
Playing in this round over the last few years is learning about myself and where I'm from and my own culture. This side of the country, there's not too much. When the first settlers came, a lot of the culture got wiped out. So there's a lot of people over this side of the country that are still trying to find where they're from, who their people are, who their families are, and I'm one of those people as well. So I think just learning, over the last few years for me, and getting to know who I am culturally, and just to grow as a person, really. I think that's what I've learned over the last few years.
As Australians, we all want to be one. There's things from the past we need to heal, and it takes time, but also it takes recognising it as well. And I think we're on the path to that, but there's still going to take some time. And I want them to be celebrated, and their cultures that have a really big history to be celebrated and put to the front of mind. So I think some of the stuff I've learned over the last few years has been amazing.
Well, we have a lot to learn when it comes to this space. If in some ways we're quite new to storytelling and actually understanding our background, but if there's one thing around our Indigenous culture is they understand their story really well and their backgrounds and their tribes and where they're from and their communities, and we can learn a lot from that, and being able to be really comfortable with who we are and learn who we are as people is extremely important.
I think it's super important to be inclusive of all cultures and communities within our society. Obviously, I'm still learning. A lot of people are still learning about what's happened in the past and a lot about their culture. But I think it's super important that we treat everyone with respect, treat everyone equally, and learning more about their culture is definitely part of that.
I think it's extremely important, not just within football, but also outside football. Australia's got a history. I think we should start really embracing and really celebrating Indigenous people and really moving forward together.
It's really important. It's just about respect and understanding, how great it is that we get to be part of this culture. And I think for all of us, we're learning more and more about Indigenous heritage and culture and the first people of Australia. So it's just another step in gaining further knowledge and understanding your teammates and people better.
Yeah, I think it's extremely important. We have one of the oldest living history and cultures in the world. So the more we can educate, the better off we're going to be.
To create an environment that everyone feels comfortable in. It's treating everyone with respect, no matter your colour, race, background, whatever it is, and understanding that we are talking about Sir Doug Nicholls Round. We've got 3 players on the list that are Indigenous at the Carlton Footy Club, and I'd like to think they seem pretty comfortable and accepted within our 4 walls. I want to make sure Carlton's a place that everyone feels welcome, no matter what your background, culture, that you can come in and you feel part of the place and feel welcome. So
part of that is learning as much as we can about the Indigenous culture and all cultures, in fact, and making sure this place is really welcoming and everyone can be themselves. So we're definitely getting better at that.
Yeah, a total environment's got to be safe. That's the most important thing. For people to be able to express themselves in the way that they do, appreciate each other and the unique strengths that we bring to the table, and when we can bring those strengths and collectively we can put that together, and that's the strength, the sum of all of us. And we appreciate we all bring different things. Indigenous culture will bring a very important element, and it's not just about, when we talk about Indigenous players, we're not just talking about X Factor here. There's so many other things that they offer, and it's important that we embrace and we create that safe environment so people can get the very best out of themselves.